Hello everyone and welcome to my CSU channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Todd Chrisley slams living with wicked Savannah. Todd Chrisley is slamming having to live with his wicked daughter, Savannah Chrisley. She moved into her parents' Nashville home when they went off to prison. This allowed her to raise her younger siblings, but now Todd has had enough. Keep reading for more details on what he had to say. Todd Chrisley slams living with wicked Savannah. Savannah Chrisley moved into her parents' Nashville home when they were convicted and sentenced to a collective 19 years. She would be raising her younger siblings, Grayson and Chloe Chrisley, so this was the best option. Savannah worked her tail off, and in May 2025, Julie and Todd Chrisley were pardoned by President Trump and released within a day. They have since returned to their home in Nashville with plans to relocate. Yet Todd is really over having to live with Savannah. He has talked about how they butted heads once he got home, which she could not stand. Now he spoke openly with his wife, Julie, on their podcast, Chrisley Confessions 2.0. He referred to their daughter, Savannah, as Griselda, and was clearly over this living arrangement. Todd and Julie both noted that being out and living life is harder than prison. They added that life keeps moving on the outside, but when you're locked up, it all comes to a complete halt. Moreover, Todd shared that it is his family who keeps him up at night, and joked that the inmates he was with were not as bad as his own clan. It appears that Julie and Todd Chrisley are trying to get back into the swing of things, as well as their own ways. Unfortunately, it is a very hard adjustment, and living with Savannah does not make it any easier. However, she has stated that she is getting her own condo, so this arrangement should not last much longer. Fans had to laugh at how Todd spoke about Savannah, aka Griselda. Now they want to hear from his mother, Nanny Faye, and see how she feels. Keep talking, Todd. Chrisley knows best. Fans love hearing from Julie and Todd Chrisley. They do feel that she had a far harder time behind bars than he did. Moreover, they have said she has a darkness around her, which is heartbreaking. At the same time, his stories have been relatable, and many are just happy that he is home with his family. Some wondered why Savannah was Todd's roommate, maybe not realizing that they are all cohabiting. Hopefully, the new family reality series will show some quirky interactions between Savannah and Todd Chrisley, because that dynamic would be hilarious. In a new, eyebrow-raising rant from the inside, the Chrisley knows best patriarch is turning the heat up on his daughter Savannah, slamming her as wicked, ungrateful, and drunk on freedom. What started as a father-daughter bond built on Southern charm and shared struggle has allegedly turned into a full-blown battle of egos, and Todd isn't mincing words. "I used to call her my little sunshine," Todd reportedly told a prison pal during visitation, "but now all I see is storm clouds in designer heels." Life after Julie, the war of the warden. Since Julie's incarceration, Savannah has taken on the role of primary caretaker for her younger siblings, Grayson and Chloe. But Todd claims that behind Savannah's brave social media front lies a darker truth, one he's been choking on in silence for too long. "When I heard she said she's the glue of the family now," Todd seethed, "I almost spit out my prison tray. She's the Elmer's glue that dries crusty and falls apart." Savannah, who has built a growing podcast empire and a loyal Instagram following, has often spoken publicly about the toll of being thrust into sudden guardianship. But her father claims that the pressure has gone to her head. "Miss Thing thinks she's the matriarch now," he snapped. "Like, this is Savannah knows best, but baby girl, if you knew best, we wouldn't be in this mess to begin with." The Wicked Daughter Diaries. According to sources close to the Chrisley family, Todd's resentment towards Savannah has been simmering since his prison sentence began. In his eyes, Savannah's sudden rise as the family spokesperson came at the cost of loyalty and humility. She walks around like she's Mother Teresa with a glam squad, Todd was overheard telling a fellow inmate. "I swear, she spends more time filming TikToks than checking on how her mama's holding up." And it doesn't stop there. Todd allegedly believes Savannah's newfound independence has turned her sly, self-centered, and downright wicked. "You ever seen a girl smile sweet for the camera and then cuss you out in the same breath? That's Savannah," he muttered. "Behind that lip gloss and Christian charm is a villain with emotional distance." While Savannah has advocated for both her parents' release and maintained a public campaign proclaiming their innocence, Todd feels the private support has gone cold. He claims that Savannah has checked out emotionally and only communicates with him when it's convenient or marketable. "She sent me a Christmas card with glitter last year, no letter. Just a sparkle bomb and a pre-written Bible quote," Todd recalled bitterly. "Like, girl, I raised you better than that." He also accused her of monetizing misery, referencing her podcast and interviews where she discusses the family's hardships. "She turned our pain into brand deals," Todd said, slamming the table during a prison phone call. "I lost my freedom. Julie lost her health, and Savannah gained a sponsorship from a wellness tea." From daddy's girl to drama queen, those who remember the early seasons of Chrisley knows best recall the deep bond between Todd and Savannah. He was her fiercest cheerleader, guiding her through pageants, heartbreaks, and business ventures. But Todd says those days are long gone. "I take back every dollar I gave that girl if I could," he grumbled. "Maybe then she'd stop acting like she earned this throne she's sitting on." Even Savannah's closest friends have reportedly been caught in the crossfire. One insider said, "Todd used to gush about Savannah's strength, but now he calls her manipulative. He says she's playing the world like a fiddle while her parents rot." Savannah sighed. So what does Savannah have to say about her father's bitter words? "She hasn't directly responded," noted one tabloid blogger. But her latest Instagram story said, "Just because someone gave you life doesn't mean they know how to love you." Ouch. Behind Savannah's curated selfies and motivational quotes, fans have started picking up on subtle tension. Some believe her constant talk about boundaries and healing is a thinly veiled clapback at Todd. Others think she's doing her best to protect her sanity while juggling two incarcerated parents and the emotional needs of a broken family. "I love my parents," Savannah has said in the past, "but I also have to love myself enough to set limits." Is reconciliation off the table? With Todd digging in his heels and Savannah seemingly asserting her independence more than ever, insiders wonder if the two are headed for a permanent rift. One family friend put it plainly: Todd doesn't like being replaced, and Savannah stopped asking for his permission. Still, those who know them best hold out hope. "They're both stubborn as mules," said a former crew member from their reality show. "But they love each other deep down. I wouldn't count out a tearful reunion someday." Final thoughts: Daddy dearest or drama king? Todd Chrisley might be behind bars, but he's still holding court, and his latest tirade has fans wondering if the king of control is losing his grip. Savannah, on the other hand, continues to strut through her media empire with a mix of sass and sorrow, playing the part of a daughter-turned-leader. Whether this is a temporary blow-up or the beginning of a more permanent divide remains to be seen. But one thing's for sure: the Chrisley family drama didn't end when the cameras stopped rolling. It just moved into the shadows, where glittery daughters and scorned fathers trade passive-aggressive jabs in public and private.